When spirituality talks about the grace of the teacher, the blessings of the teacher, the willingness of the teacher to help you, it is just a way of realizing that it is next to impossible to get to the right understanding of life without someone who has already experienced it. I mean, if you could have done it by yourself, you would have done it by now. You have lived so many lifetimes, stuck, lost in the world of dreams. Why haven't you found a way out? Because you did not find a teacher. There is a reason why you are a human being. There is a reason why you are searching for truth. Because that is your longing. Without that search, there is no meaning. And you have been so many different things before. Most probably, life forms much lower in intelligence, much lower in awareness. If you had found a teacher, you would have liberated yourself. There would have been no necessity for you to continue to ask questions about life. See, to really understand the magnanimity of Vedanta, you have to look at life for what it is. You have to separate the idea of life from real life. You can live in this fancy, imaginary idea of a beautiful, wonderful, blissful life where everything is perfect. You have arranged your life in the way exactly you want. But what about disease? What about death? What about pain? What about suffering? How can you say you have conquered all these things? Next moment, something can hurt your body. Next moment, something can happen to your mind. The sense of security you feel, especially in the modern world, is false security. We have arranged our lives only to convince ourselves that we have control over life. But in reality, how can you have control over life when you have no control over death? When you have no control over disease? When you have no control over suffering? When you have no control over the accidents of life? Can you move and navigate through the landscape of life with such certainty that you can say, nothing, no accident is going to befall me? Nothing I don't like will happen. You have to walk with fear. You have to walk with a trembling in your heart. You cannot walk with confidence. Then what is the use of all the arrangement? When you cannot live for a few moments totally free of fear, then what use are all these arrangements? Why haven't we transcended fear? Why do we still live in fear? Because we have not been moving in the direction of going beyond fear. We have only been covering up our fears, hiding our fears. If you truly believe that everything that has happened around you has actually helped you to go beyond your fear, you actually understand life more, you are deeply connected with life, then Vedanta might seem life negating. End of knowledge, discrimination between my own mind, my own body. Well, I've been told not to discriminate. Or every time I hear the word discrimination, I've only heard it as a negative word. Now here Sankara is using it not only as a positive word, but as the word, the only path, the only method to liberation. When I am told not to discriminate on the outside, he's asking me to discriminate within me, my own mind, my own body. Because he's truthful to what he has realized. He has seen the delusion of life. he has seen the trap and he wants to liberate you. He wants to help you. That is why he's firm, he's harsh, he's many times even rude. He calls you a fool, he calls you an idiot. He asks you not to cling to your wealth, not to cling to a woman or a man. Recognize the gift that you have been given, the gift of a human life. How rare is it to take birth as a human being? How rare it is to have the ability to study the scriptures. You could have been anything. You could have been a human being, and yet you could not have acquired the ability to study the scriptures. Now here you have learnt the language. You can pick up a book and read. You can use your mind to understand what's happening there. What a gift. And what are you using this for? If you are not using this to separate the truth from lies, you are a fool. You have been fooled by the arrangements of life. All the arrangements are for the body. It gives body a little bit of comfort. Yes, it is better to be inside a house than outside. It protects you from the elements. It protects you from the harshness of life. Not all arrangements are useless. But you cannot forget that this is not your true home. To think that I have built a house, I have an insurance policy, that is enough. That will take care of me. You have missed the whole point of life. Life is not a place where you can pitch a tent and say, I will be here forever. It's a movement. Your raft is moving towards the waterfall. If you do not figure out a way to get to the other bank, you cannot survive that fall. You will be lost again. A new stream, a new turbulence, and you have to go through that turbulence of death. You have to go through that chaos of falling through the waterfall. And here you built a tiny little house on this raft, and you're feeling a sense of security. But this sense of feeling safe is false, because the very ground beneath you is moving. Whether you want it or not, life will take you to the doorstep of death. And before it introduces you to death, it will strip everything. Everything you've acquired. Forget about your material wealth, even your intellectual knowledge, all your PhDs and degrees. All that will be stripped naked. You have to stand and face death all alone. What are you going to do then? What skills do you have? What abilities do you have? How are you going to face death? Where is your mindfulness? Where is your meditation? Where is your understanding of life? Where is your effort that you have put in to separate the truth from lies? Where is your viveka? Viveka is discrimination. Your ability to separate the truth from lies. If you have not moved in this direction, then you are totally naked, like a small baby in front of a tornado. You will just be swept away. Don't ask about your next life, what you're going to be. That whirlwind will decide. That tornado will decide how much, what it has to do with you, where it has to throw you. It's completely left to death. There is no use thinking about afterlife when you have missed this life. And this is what religions have done. They have conveniently diverted your attention away from this life onto some next life. And they have fooled you by telling you that there is a shortcut. You just have to believe. You just have to trust. And you will be saved. No. You have to save yourself. You have to walk the path. Nobody can do it for you. That is the beginning of Vedanta philosophy. It is the recognition that you are living in the world of lies. Death is an absolute reality. You should prepare for it. And you have to do it by yourself. Somebody else cannot do it for you. And you need the guidance of a teacher. In this basic framework begins the way of inquiry, the way of discrimination. Now, it is no longer an intellectual debate. Now, there is a teacher who is going to guide you, who is going to show you how to separate the truth from lies. Far from being a philosophical discussion on the duality of life, it is an actual exploration of the depths of your being to get to the truth of your being.